The sun hangs motionless above the African savannah, its searing heat casting an orange pall over the land. The once lush plains have transformed into a desolate ocean of dust. Cracks web across the earth like broken glass, and clouds of fine red grit swirl with every gust of wind. Distant hills shimmer with illusions of water, mirages that have betrayed many. Across these lifeless lands, great herds have begun their solemn exodus. Zebras march in tight formations, wildebeests move in dark, rippling masses, and antelope leap nervously toward vanishing rivers. All chase the promise of life, water. But amid the retreat, 2 lionesses remain. They are not of a pride, but wanderers, nomadic hunters who gambled that the rains would return. Yet months have passed, and no relief has come. Their coats are dulled, their ribs outlined starkly beneath thinning flesh. Each step is a struggle, but thirst, relentless and cruel, drives them on. The pangs of hunger had faded, leaving only the raw, fundamental need for moisture. Driven by instinct, they moved across the barren expanse, their destination a distant promise of water, a possibility of life, if they could make it there. Each mile they cover exacts a heavy toll. Their once graceful strides have become labored shuffles, paws dragging through the dust. The older the 2 lionesses lifts her nose to the air repeatedly, searching for any scent of damp soil or wet stone. At times, the heat blurs their vision, causing them to stumble toward imagined pools that vanish upon approach. They pass the ghosts of water, mud-caked basins littered with the bones of the fallen. Buffalo skulls, zebra femurs, even the cracked tusks of elephants long perish from thirst. The silence is oppressive, broken only by the wheeze of wind over the parched earth. The conservation boundary lies ahead, a thin line invisible to the untrained eye, but thick with the scent of other animals. Deer have passed this way. So too have elephants, their prints forming vast craters in the soil. But the lionesses have no strength to hunt, no desire for conflict. They seek only the miracle that lingers just ahead. Within the protected zone lies a well, designed for the largest of mammals. Their instincts pull them forward, drawing them toward the scent of cold stone and mineral-rich water. Time is collapsing. They are nearly spent, but so close now they continue. Nestled between 2 mounds of acacia-dotted earth lies a man-made marvel. A well, fortified by stacked stone, rises from the ground like an ancient altar. Its circular wall, chest-high to a man and carved by generations of effort, was built for one purpose: to allow elephants safe access to deep water during drought. The lionesses find it at last. Their ears twitch, catching the faint sound of water far below. One peers over the rim. A dark pool gleams back at her, deep and cool, a treasure untouched by the sun. But the water is out of reach, resting nearly 10 feet below the rim, accessible only by the trunks of those it was built to serve. Still, desperation clouds reason. The younger lioness rears up, her forepaws scrabbling at the rim. She leans in too far, her balance lost. With a helpless yowl, she topples into the depths. The older lioness tries to retreat, but her thirst overpowers her caution. She too climbs, claws scraping stone, and falls with a soft, wet thud. The well, meant to preserve life, has become a prison. Inside, the lionesses flail briefly. Their roars echo, then fade into silence. Water surrounds them, but offers no safety. The walls are smooth, the air thick with dampness. Trapped, exhausted, and slipping from consciousness, they're now little more than limp bodies at the bottom of an elephant's well. Hope, it seems, was a mirage, but something else has heard the fall. A tremor runs through the earth, not seismic, but sentient. A herd of elephants, moving with ancient purpose, pauses nearby. Dust settles on their backs, their ears flapping rhythmically. The matriarch halts first, her vast frame turning toward the well. Her trunk raises, sniffing the air. Then she hears it, a sound foreign, yet familiar: distress. She rumbles low in her throat, summoning another. A second matriarch approaches, slightly smaller but equally wise. They stand together, peering into the well with their heavy lashed eyes. What they find there stills them. Predators, yes, but helpless ones. To the untrained mind, lions and elephants are enemies. Yet elephants see the world differently. Their memories run deeper than seasons. They recognize pain, and perhaps even the need for mercy. Together, the two matriarchs extend their trunks. Those magnificent, versatile organs capable of uprooting trees and cradling newborns. They reach downward, probing gently into the dark. One lioness stirs. The elephants adjust their angle, wrap her torso tenderly, and begin to lift. The younger lioness rises, swaying like a rag doll. A deep groan escapes the elephant as she places the sodden creature upon dry stone. Then, the second matriarch repeats the task, hauling up the elder lioness with painstaking precision. When both lionesses lie on the ground, unmoving but alive, the elephants step back. They do not trumpet. They do not flee. They simply wait. Not far from the scene, Ranger Cole Matthews is checking the elephant well on his morning patrol. An American by birth, but African in heart, Cole has served these lands for nearly a decade. The drought has tested even his resolve. He scans the horizon, then notices unusual movement near the well. Quickening his pace, rifle slung but untouched, he crests the final ridge and freezes. Before him stands a sight no textbook or field manual could prepare him for. Two elephants, looming like ancient guardians, flank the stone well. At their feet lie two drenched lionesses, barely breathing, utterly vulnerable. No signs of struggle, no aggression, only stillness. Cole lowers his binoculars. His heart races, but not from fear, from wonder. He knows to approach slowly. The elephants acknowledge him with a glance, but do not move. Their work is done. He radios headquarters with quiet urgency, requesting veterinary support and backup. His voice trembles, not with panic, but reverence. He approaches the lionesses. Their eyes flutter open, but do not focus. They're too weak to react. Still, they breathe. That alone is a miracle. Cole kneels, one hand pressed lightly to the older lioness's chest. A heartbeat answers. He turns to look at the elephants one last time. They are already moving off. As Cole tends to the lionesses, the elephants retreat with slow, deliberate grace. The savannah parts before them. Dust swirls gently around their legs like mist rising from an ancient stage. The two great matriarchs pause atop a rise. One turns, her gaze resting on the ranger and the prone figures behind him. She rumbles softly, a sound filled not with dominance, but something far older. Perhaps recognition. Then, without fanfare, the herd continues its journey. Cole watches them go, all etched deep into his features. He knows he has witnessed something sacred. Behind him, the lionesses begin to stir. The younger coughs, then blinks. Her limbs tremble as she shifts position. The elder lifts her head with effort, her breathing shallow but steady. They are alive. Against all odds, they are alive. Veterinary teams arrive shortly after, administering fluids and carefully transporting the lionesses to a temporary recovery enclosure just beyond the conservation boundary. Cole remains beside them until the last truck leaves. He does not speak of heroism. He only recalls the sight of two ancient titans, lifting their rivals from death not with hatred, but with empathy. In a land known for its brutality, today belonged to mercy. Weeks pass. The lionesses recover under the careful watch of conservationists. Though they are eventually released back into the wild, something in them has changed. They do not stray far from the protected zone. As for Ranger Cole Matthews, he keeps a photograph from that day. Of the empty well, the stones still wet and elephant prints in the dust. He says little about it, but in quiet moments, he recalls the silence after the rescue. A silence not of emptiness, but of something profound, an understanding that life, even here in the harshest of arenas, can choose compassion over instinct. And the elephants? They continued their migration as they always have. No plaques, no stories, But in the hearts of those who witnessed that day, they are remembered not just as giants of the land, but as guardians of life. If you've been moved by this extraordinary story of survival, compassion, and the unexpected bonds that exist between species, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us share more awe-inspiring tales from the wild, bringing the untold stories of nature's most remarkable moments to life. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey, and we look forward to sharing more with you soon.